Thank you for joining us for the second half hour of Local 3 News at 4. I'm LaTrice Currie. Cindy Sexton will be here at 5. I am joined today by Hamilton County Mayor Weston Wamp. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's an honor to be with you.
Well, we always look forward to these times when you can come and visit and we can just kind of dig into some things and see what's going on here in the county. So let's get started. Up first, we're talking about, you said that the opioid abatement statement and what we're doing there with that, and you're going to have this new position to really tackle the opioid epidemic here in this community and in our county. So let's talk a little bit about that position, how these funds are going to be used, and how this is going to help tackle that opioid epidemic that we're seeing.
Sure. Well, over the course of the next several years, you're going to see dollars be released as a result of big lawsuits. Our Attorney General in the state of Tennessee teamed up with other attorneys general basically to take on big pharma, where opiates for a long time flowed too easily. And as a result, we're going to have an opportunity to push back on an overdose and opioid epidemic that's affected just about every family I know. And I think it's going to be one of the most profound, serious opportunities we have to make a difference. There's not exact certainty in terms of how the dollars will flow. We've already got our hands on some of them. Okay. The very first decision we made with that was to bring on a new position in county government to analyze the mountain of data we have about why overdoses happen, where they happen, as we lay the groundwork for what we think will be several positions and then a large coalition in addition to the staff in county government specifically tasked with prevention, family support. We're going to open up opportunities in the jail to rehabilitate folks before they re-enter society. So there's a whole lot coming. When I give the first State of the County address next Friday, we'll roll out some of our plans. But over the course of the next several years, we want to be the most aggressive county in the state, capturing as much money as we can get from the state's abatement council in order to fight what I think is probably the biggest single challenge our community faces. We talk a lot about violent crime, right, but 6 to 7 times more people lose their lives as a result of an overdose in this county. Okay,
so just to be clear, you're talking about there will be another position. What I'm listening to you say is another position in addition to the one we have discussed and we've had on the news just about the data position. So there will be other positions.
Hey, we think I think in my time in office, the county could be in line to put tens of millions of dollars to use. We don't know the exact amount of money. This first position is just the tip of the spear. Okay. We intend to come, really with everything we've got at this epidemic, and it is an epidemic. And so sure, this is the position in a lot of ways that will set the stage, give us the data to make good decisions about where we need resources, and then we're going to bring nonprofit partners, different elected officials together. Erlanger, again, the jail, we've talked to the sheriff about unique opportunities there. It will be a comprehensive approach. The data analyst is the first step in that direction. Okay, Weston, so now you are, of course, more into your term.
It got off, some would say, to a rocky start with the county commission. How do you feel things are going now and that your relationship with commissioners are at this point?
Well, there's a lot of us that are new. Mm-hmm. Several of them are new. Several of them got reelected after having lost races previously. And so this is the first time in the county's history that voters elected somebody from outside of government. And I came in with, I felt like a mandate to bring new transparency and to increase the level of energy and passion that we go about, ranging from opioids to vocational education, the things that we really care about and believe that the community ought to be invested in tackling. And so inevitably there was going to be a little bit of friction early on. I think we've got a great relationship with a half dozen of the commissioners. I tell people, I think, as we go through budget season, people will see the strengthening relationships across the commission. And frankly, 8 or 9 of them we think are very earnest in their desire to work with us. And as long as 6 of them support our big initiatives, we're going to get a lot of good stuff done for the county.
Okay, we're going to get to the budget in just a minute. But one question that did come up there asking, people are saying, where do things stand with you and your efforts to remove Reuben Taylor as county attorney?
We'll see. I mean, it's in the, I think it's proper place. It's in the court system to be adjudicated not just for our good today, but so that the rest of the state, county government operates in under general law in nearly 90 counties across the state. This is an important constitutional question. Who appoints the county attorney? Who can fire him? Was it appropriate for there to be a contract? So this stuff will be sorted out. We feel like there does need to be new blood in a lot of these important offices. but we've also just tried to stay focused on the bigger issues at hand while this plays out in the appropriate way that it does in a self-governed country. If there's a disagreement, let the courts decide, and we think we're nearing a resolution. But I think, as folks will see in the weeks to come, it hadn't slowed us down from pursuing the things that we think are most important to the future of the county.
Okay, now let's dig into that budget. Give us a preview. What are some of the most important things that you feel? I know we've talked about the opioid epidemic, but the money that we're getting for that. But from the county budget, give us a sneak peek. What are some of your priorities there?
Well, I mean, by far and away the biggest item in the budget every year, and it's an item that's going to get even bigger based on the governor's new TISA funding formula for schools. Public education is the giant in the middle of the county budget. And so we're really passionate about what a lot of the efforts are going to be within the school system to customize public education to students from Birchwood to Lookout Valley to Alton Park. And so that, I don't want to talk past what the biggest and most important item is, even though we don't, after we cut the money loose to the school system, we don't oversee the day-to-day. Some of what we're going to focus on is partnering with the school system to develop the workforce of the future. There's so many things that happen that are good for our community if young people are lifted up into great careers. It's not just good for attracting industry here, it's good for young people becoming moms and dads who can support families. So we're gonna talk about some of the things we want to do in vocational education.
That was one of the big things you campaigned on.
That's right. Well, and, I think again that's another one of those things that if you get it right, it has impact across our very diverse community. We're going to talk about the tough times that a lot of people in our community are living through, and inflation affects everybody. And
everything's so high now.
That's right. That's right. So there's some levers. We think in county government there's some things we want to do in public health. They're connected to the opioid epidemic, and I think a theme for us moving forward is going to be investing in young families, and from our parks to our health department, how can we be a support to young parents? The truth is, we often can blame the school system for things that don't go right in the first few years in the school system. We talk about early childhood reading. Truthfully, I think we need to back up even more. And you understand this.
Yes.
We need to back up to the very first few years of life. What can we do? The county runs one of the largest departments of county government.
How can you give parents and these families help and stability?
Right.
So they can grow. All right, we're going to get this one in too. Also, survey. You want people to participate in a survey so that people can give feedback and what they think and their concerns here. So tell us about that.
Yeah, hey, in the spirit of transparency, this is our first budget. We came in from the outside. My background's been in business. I campaigned hard. That'll give you a good feel for what the community wants and what the priorities should be. But we wanted to explicitly do something that's never been done before, where you open up to the community a survey in advance of the budget. And you can go find this survey and RSVP if you want to watch online or attend in person. The State of the County, stateofthecounty.org.
Right, I was
is
going
where
to
you
let
do
you
either.
Get that in.
Stateofthecounty.org. And we've been blown away at the feedback we've gotten. At the end of the survey, it's an open-ended question. We got a bunch of entertaining responses as a result of giving people an opportunity to give us their open-ended feedback. But just a whole lot of different questions, again, ranging from parks and recreation to education to public safety and roads. And we're blown away. We've got almost 1,500 responses so far, and we're going to leave it open through my birthday, which is this Sunday. Okay,
just in case people want to wish Hamilton County Mayor Weston Wamp an early birthday, right? So this was our gift. He came and we got everything. We got a lot in today, Weston, and we appreciate you coming and doing this and just kind of opening up, because the community and people out there want to hear from you, and they want to hear what's going on in our community, and you always tackle all the issues that we ask you, so we appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All righty. Of course, Hamilton County Mayor Weston Wamp here. All right.